Welcome to another episode of the Bethesda Brothers podcast. I am the KingFanMan, joined with my co-host, Joey Caps Gaming. How are you doing, Brother Joe?
King, I'm all right. Better than last time, but
We've got
okay. How are you?
Well, we got a great subject to talk about today, so we're not talking layoffs and all that other stuff. We are talking about the multiple projects that have been confirmed. And by the way, I have to say this. I have to give us a little kudos because nobody else will. We have been talking about this for over a month before it blew up in the news that there are multiple Fallout projects. So if you're watching the Bethesda Brothers in this channel, you're doing really good because we're actually ahead of the news curve. But we have more breaking news on that subject today. And let's just start with Jordan Midler said, of course, multiple projects. We already said that, but he said the one you've all been wanting. Well, is that Fallout 3 remastered or is that New Vegas 2? Well, we're going to talk about New Vegas 2 because it's kind of like where you see smoke, there's fire. There is a lot of smoke around a New Vegas 2 and Obsidian, either Obsidian doing it by themselves or doing it jointly with Bethesda. And y'all just please stay tuned because there's going to be a lot of things come out in this podcast that I haven't heard anywhere else. So I'm very excited to give you all the news about the smoke of New Vegas 2. What do you think about New Vegas 2, Joe? It's possible. I really think it's probable now.
Yeah, so this is what I think, and you didn't share the notes with me, but I do know a little something too.
Awesome.
And it was a comment made by Chris Avalone. Did you get this or no?
I don't have that one, no.
Do you mind if I share it right now?
Absolutely.
Okay. From Chris Avalone, he said,
which was one of the main writers on New Vegas 2.
Yeah, he said that he could be wrong, but from what he's heard, if a spinoff is happening, or New Vegas Remastered is happening, even that, it ain't Obsidian. So
interesting. That's interesting.
If it's happening and it's not Obsidian, do you get so here's what it's like, okay, if it's happening and it's not Obsidian, is it happening though?
Yes. There is a spinoff happening, no doubt. No doubt.
Do you know what I'm saying though?
Yes.
Because he didn't say no, it's not happening.
Well,
but he did say that if it is, it's not Obsidian.
Here's the four possibilities. And I mean, this is the only way it can go. It's either Obsidian doing it, it's either In Exile doing it, it's either Obsidian and BGS doing it together, or remember, we have also talked on this channel that BGS has had a restructuring due to what Microsoft wanted them to do. So could it be another team other than the Maryland team working on this project as well? In other words, did Microsoft come in and say, hey, you've got to get on Fallout? Now, we know, Joe, that after the show, that's April 2024, that Microsoft had a meeting with the top guys at Bethesda, Todd Howard and others. And the meeting was all about how can we get a Fallout to the people fast. Well, did plans go in right then? Because let me give you some of the things that I won't hide some of the things. I want to give them right now. Number one, these are the things that we know. According to Jeff Grubb and VGC both, early talks about New Vegas 2 started all the way back in 2022. So that was already being talked about, New Vegas 2, in Bethesda, in Obsidian, and in Exile. All of those were, I think those studios were shopped by Microsoft to see how we can get a Fallout there quicker. but it didn't really get going until 2024. 2024, right after the show, again, Microsoft had a meeting with Bethesda. How can we get a Fallout quick? Then we know, this is also confirmed, 2024, conversations inside Obsidian about a New Vegas sequel. So all of that happened right there around that April 2024.
So King, I need to know this.
And now,
Midler.
right after, real quick, right after the layoffs and everything, BGS has been restructured, and I think it's part of that restructuring is you've got to get on the two main franchises that sell the Elder Scrolls, which they're already doing, and Fallout. So I would say at least part of a team at Bethesda, I believe, is working on a Fallout. But go ahead.
So, with Midler, right, in that podcast,
Yes.
did he say New Vegas 2 in it?
No. He said the one that you've all been wanting.
Yeah, no, I know that.
And he said
know that,
multiple
then
Fallout projects. That's the two things he said.
from this article, though, that I'm reading right now, as we're doing the podcast, so, and I quote, the only time he got close to being specific was when he alluded to one that I'm sure you're all wanting, which would have been interpreted as a remaster of New Vegas. However, he then followed, so he, I guess, as in Jordan, then followed that up with a quip saying, anyway, New Vegas 2 coming soon. It's unclear if this was a joke, since the coming soon aspect isn't true.
Right.
But he did bring up a New Vegas 2.
Right.
He did say it.
Right. Well, that
Interesting.
It's because, Joe, all you have to do now, you have to look deep. I've been digging deep into this week, and again, talks inside studios about a New Vegas sequel started 2022. They really ramped up in 2024. Now, I have one to throw out that there is a project called Platinum on the FTC document that leaked. Remember, Kestrel was ZeniMax's, but there was also one more called Project Platinum. Now, that one has not been identified what it is. Well, what was huge about New Vegas was the Platinum chip. You remember that? Could Project Platinum literally be New Vegas remastered or a New Vegas spinoff? Because, again, these talks go all the way back to 2022. So Microsoft was looking at doing a sequel to New Vegas. This is the key. All the way back to 2022. And then once the show hit, it was like, we have to do this. So they figured out a way to get it done. Now, all we need to figure out is who's doing it. Is it Obsidian? With what Chris said, that's kind of curious. Is it Bethesda and Obsidian? Is it just Bethesda? Is it in exile? I don't know, but I would bet your money on the fact that New Vegas 2 is coming. Because, I mean, that, like I said, there's just too much smoke on this now.
I'm going to say this. If New Vegas 2 is coming and New Vegas Remastered is coming first.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's 100% certain. It's a really old game, 15 years old at this point. You're going to want people to play the New Vegas Remastered, especially after the success of the Oblivion Remastered. You're going to want people to play New Vegas, so that'll probably come out first. And then I bet you like a year later, New Vegas 2 comes out.
Yes.
So, like, who knows when these are coming out? According to Jordan, these Fallout projects are years away. And, I guess we're just going to have to accept that, King, right? We'll just have to accept it. But at the same time, if they do come out with a New Vegas 2, which it makes a lot of sense, right? The TV show is going to New Vegas. Yeah. So it just makes a ton of sense that, you would want to make a game around
New
such an
Vegas.
iconic location in the
Absolutely.
Fallout franchise. It's just because you're reaching your old fans, but you're reaching your new ones too.
Yes.
So it makes way too much sense for this not to happen. However, though, when he's talking about the game that we all want, well, as Fallout fans, we want a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we want Fallout 3
We want Fallout
remastered.
5.
Yeah,
We want Fallout 3
5.
remastered, New Vegas remastered, New Vegas 2. We want a bunch. So I guess outside of Fallout 5, because that's been Todd Howard told us a few years ago that, hey, that does exist on a sheet of paper, but it does exist.
But it's after Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of that, this is another thing we want. So we already know Fallout 5 is happening. We just don't know about the other things.
And we know Fallout 3 is happening too, according to the FTC document.
That's 100% happening.
Yes.
It's everything on there. If the Oblivion remastered came true, Fallout 3 is coming. For sure. I would be shocked if Fallout 3 did not come. I would be shocked.
But Joe, for us to know that literal talks inside studios about a specific game being a spin-off sequel to New Vegas, that has been talked about now for years, since 2022, inside the studios. We know that 100%. One thing I do want to mention, people, my comments get flooded with this every time we talk about it. Well, Obsidian's not Obsidian anymore. The Obsidian that made Fallout New Vegas is not Obsidian anymore. I want to calm people's fears about that. Number one, there are over 20 people that worked on New Vegas that are still working at Obsidian. Plus, and I mentioned this, I think, last podcast, Obsidian just rehired the lead writer for New Vegas back at the studio.
They did?
Yes. Let's see. What's his name? Gosh, I've got it here somewhere. Well, let me just... John Gonzalez, the lead writer of New Vegas, was just rehired at Obsidian. But you've also got Tim Kane's there, Josh Sawyer's there, Leonard Boyarsky is there, Eric Finn. Boy, these names. Did you have to have a weird name to work on New Vegas? I wonder.
Yeah, right. There's
Travis Stout. I mean, we can go on and on and on. But listen, the lead creative director, the lead writer, and the lead designer are all back at Obsidian that worked on New Vegas.
Yeah. It's very telling.
It is very telling. Now, I also asked this, and I really want to get into this too. What engine are they going to use if Obsidian's involved in this? We know Obsidian used to use the Onyx engine. Now they're using the Unreal 5 engine. But would it look like, and this was my fear, would it look like Avowed? Would it look like the Outer Worlds 2? I don't want to fall out like that. That's just me personally. But we have to know, this is interesting, Bethesda is still publishing games. And Bethesda would definitely be the publisher. And you say, why? Because Bethesda is the one that holds the license. It's under Bethesda. Yes, it's under Microsoft. It's all under Microsoft, but it's under Bethesda. So Bethesda would be the one that would be publishing it. And listen to this. If you publish a game, in other words, say Bethesda's not developing it, not doing any of that. Maybe they're not helping at all. Say Obsidian's doing it all. But if Bethesda is publishing it, this means they are helping to fund it. They're giving money to it. They have the license and legal ownership of the game. They have to do quality assurance and testing on it. They do the marketing and promotion. They do the distribution and sales. And they do the post-launch support. If they're doing all of that, they're, in my thoughts, they would definitely lend Obsidian the creation engine. That's why I think it would be most likely that it would be a joint effort between Bethesda and Obsidian, especially if they're using that new Creation 2 engine. Doesn't that make sense? I don't think they would just hand it over and say, here. I think it would be here with supervision of some Bethesda employees. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but would you need that supervision if you have guys like Josh Sawyer?
No. I just think it would give them some help since they're not used to the creation engine. I mean, the last time they used it, it was the Gamebryo engine, so it's gone through two major upgrades since Obsidian has used it.
Right, yeah. And they got it done in 18 months.
They sure did.
At that point, they got it done.
Speaking of that, Obsidian is out of this world what they're doing. People keep talking about this game is going to take forever. Do you know what they've put out in 1 year? This year?
I know. Mm-hmm.
3 games.
Yeah, Outer Worlds 2 is coming up.
How do you... Grounded 2's coming up, and they put out Avowed. All are releasing this year. Avowed released February 2025. Grounded 2 is releasing July 2025, and the Outer Worlds 2 is coming October 2025. How do you do that?
I know.
I mean, they are rocking. So
I know.
That's another reason I think, Microsoft, again, I've been saying this for weeks now, Microsoft is going to put the team on it that can get it out the fastest. Well, who is that? Who's the only one inside Microsoft right now that are putting out games on time? And it's Obsidian.
Yeah. Obsidian. Yeah. Absolutely. We'll see.
And they will be totally free, as far as I know. Once Grounded 2 comes out this month, Outer Worlds comes out in October. Other than DLC and support work, they're totally free.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel like I've been thinking this. I've been saying it because it's like, all right, what are they doing after all this stuff? I feel the reason why. I hate to say this, I think Outer Worlds 2 was a bit of a rush job. Now, it hasn't come out yet, but when you come out with 2 games in 1 year, big, large games that have a lot of story, like Avowed and Outer Worlds, well, why is that? It's because you're probably working on another project. Grounded 2, as you said, it came out, I believe, right? It's out now?
It comes out this month. I don't know if it's out yet or not.
So then it's like, all right, it's almost like they're saying, hey, get everything done. We want everything done and out.
Yeah.
You're working on the next Fallout game because of the popularity of the franchise now and the TV show and all that jazz.
Yes.
So like that if Microsoft didn't do this, I would be more shocked.
Yes.
If they didn't do what they did.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it makes 100% sense. And not a lot of people are going to like that. Not a lot of people are going to say, oh, I like that they rushed out games. But at the same time, when you have an IP like Fallout that's really, 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 really hot right now, solely because of the TV show.
And it's probably going to get hotter, in December.
Yeah, it's going to get, especially if season 2 was really good, it's going to get scorching hot again. So you want to capitalize on it, and I don't know when it's going to come out. I'm not saying I do. But at the same time, it shouldn't shock anybody that Microsoft potentially, I'm not saying they definitely did, but potentially made Obsidian finish everything else to focus on Fallout.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense.
It would.
Just my opinion, though.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Well,
whatever the heck that's worth.
Again, going back to things that we know, April 2024, when they saw the numbers of Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Fallout 76 go sky high, Microsoft said, oh, what are we doing? Because you think about it, at that point, Fallout 3 was already planned, Fallout 3 remastered, but a new single-player game was not. Well, since then, Joe, what do we know? Fallout 76 is getting its biggest update ever. So Microsoft got 76's attention and said, we got to have something in December. That's when the show comes out.
Exactly.
So if they
Exactly.
did that with 76, what are they doing with single player games? What are they doing with the remasters? Now, me and you've been saying we think Fallout 3's remaster is going to come out before everybody thinks. I don't think it's going to be 2027. I really don't, and I'm going to stick by that. They're going to try to get it as close to that season 2 coming out as they can. They want something new coming out December or the spring. They want it quick.
I think it comes out in the spring.
Yeah.
I think April 2026 Fallout 3 drops.
Yeah.
People might call me nuts. I am a little nuts.
Well,
But
Joe, if Project Platinum happens to be a New Vegas, whether it's New Vegas Remastered or the New Vegas spinoff, on the FTC document, it was set to come out 2023, and it's been about 2 years off. So what would that be? 2026.
when was Oblivion slated to come out on that document?
It was a little bit delayed from it, if I believe. I'm not sitting here looking at the FTC, but I think it was the one. It was still about 2 years, but I think it was a little bit delayed on Oblivion.
Gotcha. Okay. It makes sense.
Yes. And
Makes sense.
I'm with you. I think hopefully all this got their attention and they're like, we need to release Fallout New Vegas remastered and then the spinoff. Now, we may be
Yeah.
shocked. It may be a spinoff that's not in New Vegas, but there's a spinoff happening. I don't bet lives on it, but I would bet your money again that there's a spinoff.
I'll bet your money, King. I'm betting you. I'm not gonna bet your money. I'm gonna bet you. You and all you.
Joe, if they were talking about this in 2022, and I'm talking about inside the studio, and we know what the show did, obviously they greenlit this project, whether it's Obsidian doing it and Exile doing it or Bethesda doing it. We may finally get our Elder Scrolls studio and Fallout studio within Bethesda.
Yeah.
It may be Bethesda that's working on both of them. I don't know.
We'll see.
If you had your choice right now and you say, okay, well, we can get a Fallout spinoff, and you can either have Bethesda do it by themselves or you can have Obsidian involved, which would you do?
This might be viewed as a bit of a cop-out,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say whoever gets it out quicker.
Yeah.
Because both of them make great games.
You would trust them, yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this one deserves to do it or that one does. Of course, part of me, Obsidian, who was
nostalgia,
it? The owner
yeah.
or the CEO of Obsidian, they said it that they want to do a Fallout game again, right?
Tim Kaine said.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was Tim Kaine.
I think it was Tim Kaine and Josh Sawyer both mentioned it publicly, though.
Yes, somebody said, yeah, maybe it's them, said that they want to do a Fallout game, at least one more.
Yep.
At least one more. They want to have a chance to do it. So, yeah, I guess them if I had a pick, but at the same time, it's whoever gets it out. However, I could get my hands on a New Vegas spinoff, New Vegas remastered, and then however I could get my hands on Fallout 5 after that. So if it's Obsidian making New Vegas 2 and then Fallout 5 comes out 2 years later because BGS is working on it, I would like that then. That's the thing I would like.
I guess my perfect world, I want Obsidian involved. I want them writing it because I want to fall out again with some choice and some great factions. That's what I loved about New Vegas, the difference you made in that world and the wonderful factions that was in it. But
Yeah.
nobody makes worlds like Bethesda. So
The only knock that I will give to New Vegas, it's a major one. It's a major knock, and some of you might be like, "What do you mean?" I'm gonna explain. Relax. The major knock that I give New Vegas and I understand why they only had 18 months to make it. Listen, I get it. I understand. Is that it didn't have, once you completed the main quest, you couldn't play after. You couldn't play after the main quest. So you had to do everything beforehand and then complete the main quest. But then your quest essentially is done. Like, everything's finished.
Yeah.
That's what I hated about it. Fallout 3, same thing happened with that, but with Broken Steel, they gave you that post-game content. That if you beat the main quest out of the gate really quick, you could still go back and do all the side stuff. So, but believe me, I get why that didn't happen in New Vegas, because each ending changed the wasteland drastically. So, and they only had 18 months to make the game. So I get it. I get you. But it would have been cool if they worked on that. If they came out with one final DLC, let's say in 2011 or 2012, that gave you access to that, they would have altered the world.
Yeah.
According to what you chose. That would have been cool, King.
Yeah.
I wonder why it didn't happen.
Well,
that would have been so cool if they did that.
You mentioned Fallout 3. It was just different back then. The Fallout 3, I remember finishing the main quest and the credits roll, and it's like it was over. If you played after the DLCs came out, you missed that, because I mean that was a gut punch. It was like, what? Over? You can't end a Fallout game. But it was just different thinking back then, and I've even heard Todd Howard talk about it now, and he uses that as an example that people want to live in these worlds, and that's why he talks about they want to play them for 10 years and all that, So they look at the games different. But Joe, this brings up a whole other point. The way to keep the worlds living is not just Radiant Quest, and I hate that they've really leaned into Radiant Quest. That's not what we want either. Some Radiant Quest is fine. But, I think they got our point about not ending the game, but what they've done since then is just added a bunch of, go fetch Radiant Quest,
Yeah, I mean, if in New Vegas, in theory, right, if they had enough time, or if they made a DLC so you could see all this stuff, if, for example, you pick the NCR ending and then the NCR takes over the wasteland after, it's at least, if they gave me the option to see that, to live in that world, well, that would have been cool to see.
Yeah.
Or Mr. House takes over, or, just so I could see what was the impact of the choice that I made.
And I know you've played it more than once. Can you remember the first time you played New Vegas? Who did you pick? I know who I picked.
So I saved the Legion for last. I believe I picked the NCR.
I picked House. I don't know why I did, but I picked
House.
The House always wins.
I did the NCR, then I did Yes Man, then I think I did House.
Yeah, I did
because
House first.
I got all the achievements in the game, so I had to keep doing it.
I think the reason I did House is because really you're doing quests for House all the way up until the end.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you have to, you're doing things for him, and then all of a sudden you have to go against him if you pick one or the other. So I just kept going with him. The last thing I want to mention, Todd Howard said in the first season of the Fallout TV show that he wanted to make sure that they did not ruin any of the endings to any of the games, especially Fallout New Vegas, since that's where they are. In other words, they didn't want to canonize which one is the end, since we're talking about which one's the end here. Do you believe, since I think it's obvious we're going to have multiple Fallout projects in the West, do you think they're going to maybe collaborate with the TV show and give us a canon ending to New Vegas, and then build upon that for the spinoff Fallout 5? Because see, Fallout 5 most likely is in San Francisco. That's what people are thinking. So will we learn that the NCR was or wasn't.
I'm gonna make a lot of if
Quit making people mad, Joe.
if you're still here at this point, I might make you a little mad. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, if this New Vegas 2 is real, if this spinoff is real, New Vegas Remastered is real, Fallout 5 will not be on the West Coast.
Wow.
And I know why. I've heard it till the cows come home as to why it will be. And I get you. I'm there. I hear you. It's going to be, in my opinion, and you could say what you want, it's going to be, I think, in New York.
I was thinking New York, yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm 99% sure it's going to be in New York. There was a terminal in Far Harbor that mentioned DC and Boston completely wiped off the map, but it also mentioned New York being completely wiped off the map. Out of those 3 locations, 2 of them were Fallout games. Washington, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Boston, the Commonwealth, right? So if both of those are completely gone, and same with New York, well, how did they make 2 Fallout games set in those locations that are totally gone? I always hear, oh, New York is a crater. It's this, it's that. Before Fallout 4 was initially supposed to take place in New York, but they scrapped it because
I've heard
didn't
that.
have the technology.
Yep, I've
so
heard
if
that
they
too.
were, if they planned on making Fallout 4 in New York, why on earth wouldn't they revisit that when they get the technology later on?
Makes a lot of sense.
And now they have it.
Makes a lot of sense.
So it's like it's the writings on the wall.
And,
truthfully,
and even if it was blown off of the map, there would be enough left to make a game there. I mean, New York's a big place.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I could be wrong, but all I can say is this: look at that Far Harbor terminal.
I'm gonna have to go look at that.
it. I made a YouTube short about it. It's my most viewed short. It has over 200,000 views. It went crazy viral.
Awesome.
For me.
Yeah.
Go check that out. The terminal's right in that short, and you'll read. It says Washington, Boston, New York, all gone.
Wow.
And 2 out of those 3 locations
had been games.
Had Fallout games.
Wow.
So also too, Bethesda Game Studios worked on. It seems that they just work on East Coast Fallout. So I'm gonna go and say that too. That's also why New York, I think, is gonna be the next Fallout.
You've intrigued me and you've convinced me. So I've got one last question for you. Then what you said technology was holding them back. I wonder what they're going to do. Is it just the big buildings? What would be? Do you think?
So look, when we in Fallout 4, when we would go downtown, the frame rate would drop.
Yeah, big time.
So I assume in New York, it was probably a lot of the same. It was probably a lot more of that because it's freaking New York, It's New York. So that's what I think.
Man, that's exciting.
So now it's you get these stronger, beefier systems that could run, let's say, a downtown better, more optimized. Let's see what we could do. Man, well, let's see.
That's exciting.
So that's I could be completely off base, King, but that's my opinion.
No, I'm with you. That's awesome. I can see either place, but yeah, that's wow. Well, wherever you want the next Fallout, whether it's the spinoff or Fallout 5, things are looking good for Fallout. We mentioned this last week, and I will end with this. With all of these layoffs, remember why they said they did them. To focus on, I agree we shouldn't have had layoffs, but they did it to focus on the series that had the most potential. Right now, Fallout is number 1, and Microsoft knows that. So they're putting every asset they have toward Fallout. So if you're a Fallout fan, you should be super excited because you know remasters are coming. There's a spinoff coming. I would bet on it. And then I believe Fallout 5 will be here faster than people think as well because Microsoft is like, get them out, get them out.
Yeah, I don't. We talked about this last time. I don't think you're going to see Starfield for a really long time unless there's a hardcore fan base for it that's going to want this resurgence for Starfield. You'll just see Fallout for many years.
Yep, I agree 100%. Well,
That's
Joe, thank you for being here. I love you as my co-host. I love you as my brother. You got anything else to say?
King, I love you too. Thank you for having me. If you've listened this far into the video, do me a favor. Subscribe to King. Subscribe to me. I just started making stuff again. So if you're this far in, do me a favor. Show me some love. That would be appreciated. But King, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you. And it was fun.
Absolutely. It always is. Well, thank y'all for watching. We will see y'all next time. I am the KingFanMan. He is Joey Caps. Bye, everybody.